podcast where we put you on the map. This is Ron Costa broadcasting live in the Mappable USA studios in Las Vegas, Nevada. And folks, the other night I went out into one of my favorite places, Henderson, Nevada here. That's where I live, and I saw so many amazing things. We're going to talk about that today in the podcast. And before we do that, let's introduce Vicki Hutchmala from the QOZ Marketplace. Vicki, how are you doing today?
I'm fabulous today, Ron. Fabulous. You know, this is the reason why we live in Las Vegas, because the weather right now is perfect. Will be perfect until it gets hot again next June. And we are talking to one of our favorite guests to talk about Henderson and what they're doing there. I mean, it's a booming, popping place. That's for sure. Can't wait.
Absolutely. Let's get him on. Let's introduce Anthony Molloy. Anthony is the Redevelopment Manager of the City of Henderson Redevelopment Agency. Anthony, how are you doing today?
I am doing great. Thanks, Ron and Vicki, for having me today.
Our pleasure, Anthony.
Our pleasure. Yeah, so Anthony, is there anyone more busy in Henderson than you are?
Well, I think that there are a lot of people that are busy in Henderson because there's so much happening in our great city.
It really is. It's just amazing when you go online and you look at all these top 10 places to live or whatever based on all kinds of different demographics. Henderson seems to be up there now. Actually, it's been up there for quite some time, but as I mentioned in the intro, you walk down Henderson, walk down Main Street, Water Street, you see all these developments going on. It's really impressive in really a short period of time, too, that all this movement has taken place.
Well, that's, it's funny that you would say that because something that I heard very early in my career about redevelopment is that, or the joke is that redevelopment is the overnight success that took 30 years to happen. And so you just made the comment, a reality that it's something that seems to have happened suddenly, but in fact we've been working on it for the last 15 or 20 years. We did have some setbacks with the Great Recession and with the worldwide pandemic that everybody's experiencing. Of course, there have been setbacks due to that. However, even in light of the pandemic, there's lots of construction that's happening on Water Street right now, and that's poised to happen in the next few months.
Well, Anthony, I live in Summerlin, which is on the opposite end of the valley from Henderson, and until we met you, Anthony, I never really paid attention to Henderson. It was always that place that you went through on the way to Boulder and to the lake. But since we've met you and seen what you've been able to accomplish on Water Street and downtown Henderson, I have to say, Anthony, it's just incredible. It really is. Now I enjoy going to Henderson, especially for the beer.
Yeah, I mean, really, there's so much that's been happening in Henderson, and redevelopment is truly a team sport. It's not something that I've accomplished. It's been the cumulative efforts of so many people because it takes such an effort to get traction, to gather reinvestment, to make a difference. But really, it's so worthwhile because during the 70s and 80s, there was the migration from downtowns. We were fortunate because we were not a huge downtown, but, people left and went to the suburbs. And so through redevelopment, we try to get traction and bring people back into the downtowns with businesses and residents and show them the importance of having a healthy and vibrant downtown because it really reflects the rest of the community. And so many people, just like you, Vicki, they were not aware of all of the things and the value that downtowns provide. Many people that live in Henderson, I would say, may not even be aware of Water Street and the Main Street feeling that exists here. And but very soon here, we're going to have Lifeguard Arena open up, which is home to the Henderson Silver Knights. And it is going to be a destination location for many people throughout the valley. coming down here to watch practices by the Silver Knights, to come down to youth and adult sports leagues. And I think it's a real game changer for our community because it's going to let people from all over the valley see exactly what downtown Henderson has to offer.
You know, sometimes the hardest part is bringing the people together, sitting around the table and saying, look, this is what we can accomplish if we work together. This is what we can do. And you build that trust and that pride in Henderson, and all of a sudden it's just exponential, and pretty soon everybody wants to be a part of it. I think that's what you've been able to accomplish, Anthony.
That's absolutely right. I mean, we didn't want to go ahead and plan for something that was not a collaborative effort. We wanted to know what it is that the people who live here right now wanted to see in the future. We wanted to know what the businesses and the property owners that are here wanted to see in the future. And so really it was a grassroots effort where we reached out to the people who live and work here and asked them, you know, what is your vision for the future? And together we worked and put together the plans, and together we have worked to make that happen. And it has been slow, but it has been very worthwhile, and now we're starting to see the benefits of that.
Well, yeah, and it'll snowball, like you say. Once more people like myself who live in a different part of the valley see what you're accomplishing, especially when you're doing something big with the Golden Knights and the Silver Knights, and that's something that's so trending and hot right now that it just naturally and automatically brings an interest into Henderson, and that brings more people, but that brings more businesses who want to take advantage of what you're doing there. So you kind of just branded yourself and put it out there, and now everybody's flocking to Henderson, to businesses as well as residential.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, and we see that the Lifeguard Arena is kind of like an anchor store in a mall that is going to bring people down here, and it's going to provide opportunity for the existing businesses to capture that greater exposure. But we saw very quickly after the announcement of Lifeguard Arena a exponential growth in interest from the business community to want to be down here on Water Street, and it's been amazing. And even with the setbacks caused due to COVID-19, with the mandatory business closures and people not coming out to shop as much, the business owners still have a very positive attitude for the future. And that's something that has buoyed people in our community through the worst of the pandemic period of time, knowing that the future is positive. And that's something that we really have all shared, because the Lifeguard Arena is truly a game changer for downtown Henderson, as is the continued growth in Cadence Master Plan community, which is less than a mile from downtown Henderson. And later this month, Water Street, the extension of Water Street will connect downtown Henderson into the Cadence Master Plan community. That a build-out will have 13,000 homes. I mean, that's a huge benefit for the businesses that are downtown. And then also with the redevelopment of the Black Mountain Golf Course, which is also within a mile of downtown. I mean, those two communities will have a great impact on the demographic profile. It will increase the mass of people that live near downtown to help to increase the number of businesses that can be supported.
Yes, and the arena now on Water Street, the Lifeguard Arena, is it being used for people to come in, let's say when there's not a game, they can go and skate, or they can have events there too as well?
Yes, so that is going to be, so it is the home and offices for the Henderson Silver Knights. It's their practice arena, but there will also be team sport, youth leagues, and open skating. And it is managed by the Vegas Golden Knights, the Silver Knights. They manage and operate that facility.
That's tremendous. Yeah, that's great.
What's the difference, Anthony, between the Golden Knights and the Silver Knights?
The Silver Knights is their feeder team, so people that are on the Silver Knights, I'm not exactly sure of the technical terms, but it's a feeder team, but that's how it would work.
I guess you can call it minor league hockey, perhaps, and they develop into the next step, and they go to the NHL, and eventually, hopefully, play for the Knights.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, I would like to see a Christmas tree there for like a Rockefeller Center thing. That would be nice around Christmas time. Would be able to skate. That'd be great.
Mm-hmm. Well, we are. Yeah, the city is actually investing a lot of money on making improvements to the event center or the events plaza, which I'm sure you've seen that before, which was a good amenity before, but it really didn't foster an active space. And so that's the area immediately adjacent to Lifeguard Arena. We are making huge changes to the events plaza and to Water Street immediately next to the events plaza and Lifeguard Arena to create a festival street feeling so that it's a seamless transition from the events plaza onto Water Street. We can close Water Street down easily for special events, but it will remain open most of the time, but vehicle traffic will be slowed, but it's going to be a great amenity to allow us to hold viewing parties on the events plaza, and so that should be opened, completed by the end of this year or early next year on the events plaza.
Yeah, that invites the community to participate and be a part of it and be proud of their city. That's great.
It is great, and we're excited. The farmers market will be there again, and we're just excited. And that's where we normally have a lot of our events are hosted from that location. That's where we normally have our huge Christmas tree for the city of Henderson. So I brought that up because of you saying that, Ron, about the Rockefeller Center and the Christmas tree.
Yeah, that's great. Just getting back to the Cadence project really quickly. Cadence is they're custom new homes. Is that right?
At Cadence, yes. They're not custom. So there's different home builders out there.
Okay. I would imagine
there different home builders. There's semi-custom. There's active adult. Neighborhoods that are gated. It's a great community.
Right, and I'm sure there are different price points too, right? For people from entry level, let's say, to maybe luxury. They're all, it spans the gamut on that, right? Yes,
absolutely.
Yeah, there's a lot of custom or new home developments out that are being developed in that area too. I believe Inspirata is another one, right, in Henderson?
Well, Inspirata is in West Henderson. So, but yes, Inspirata is another very popular master plan community in Henderson, and but closer to where Cadence is, we have Tuscany, which is a master plan community, and then beyond that we have Lake Las Vegas.
Oh, so you have everything. You have it, and it includes multifamily as well?
Right now, I don't believe that there's any multifamily in Cadence, but long term there may be some.
No, very good.
Yeah, I've been out to Lake Las Vegas a lot. We did a couple of videos out there, and I really like Lake Las Vegas because it's like being in a resort community, but you're still in Las Vegas somehow. So you kind of get the best of both worlds. Some people just need to get away from the Strip or get away from the casinos, and Lake Las Vegas is perfect for that. And, and we talked about Water Street before. It is really great to go down there and you have your, again, so many things to do between now with the new hockey arena. But that's not it, because you also have a lot of restaurants there. You got a lot of breweries. You can just walk down that street and, I just find it amazing what's going on over there.
Absolutely true. And in the next few months, we're going to see groundbreaking on 2 new, fairly large mixed-use projects on Water Street. One right across the street from where Lifeguard Arena is located. It's called Watermark, and that will have about 28,000 square feet of first-floor retail, and then 50,000 plus square feet of second and third-floor office space, and 130 market-rate apartments on the rest of the floor with a built-in parking garage.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's right across the street.
Quite a project.
It is, and then farther north on Water Street, on Site A, which is right next to where Lovelady Brewery is, and also Juan's Flaming Fajitas, another mixed-use project will break ground, and that will include up to 4 restaurants on the first floor and just over 100 market-rate apartments on the rest of the project.
A lot of the redevelopment that's going on in that area, though, it's not new development. A lot of it has taken existing buildings or locations and reconfigured them. I think Ron was telling me about a brewery that went into a bank that has a special room that actually is the vault of the bank in order to drink beer. Am I confused, or is that true, Anthony?
That is true. So it was the old Bank of America building, and there's much more to it than that. So Mojave Brewing is the business that you're talking about, Vicky, and the founder's room is located inside the vault. And so that's a special membership that you can purchase. And if you're a member of the Founders Club, then you can enjoy your cold beverage inside the vault. What was the vault? But that's not the only business. That's not the only business that's in the old Bank of America building, because on the second floor of the building, there are some micro residential suites that are multi-purpose that can be rented by the night, or as a hotel, or longer term rentals as well. And they are completely brand new construction inside the space, and they're really beautiful and unique spaces that are self-contained with small kitchenettes. And then there's also 2 other restaurants that are located at that space. Just the one. It's called Biscuits and Bourbon, and it is an urban lounge, and they have great barbecue is one of their signature items. They have fantastic biscuits.
Wow, a little bit for everybody.
A little bit for everybody, you're right.
Yeah, and you have an awesome coffee place, too. Is it Public Works at the end of the street?
We do. Public Works is on the south end of Water Street, and they will also have a space inside Lifeguard Arena.
Oh, wow.
Well, okay, that's great. Yeah, that's really amazing, because you can walk into Public Works and your intent is to maybe get a coffee, and next thing you see, you got all of the beer selections, you got all these things to eat for food, and I'm like, wow, this place has really got everything. and it's good coffee, too, by the way. It's really good. It's really good. I've actually gone out of my way to go there for a coffee. That's how good it is.
Yep, they have great coffee, they have smoothies, they have a lot of different types of teas, and they have some lighter foods that you can have for breakfast or lunch.
Yeah. So are people coming into Henderson and relocating their businesses there? Do you see that at all? Are they pulling business licenses in Henderson?
They are. We're actually receiving a lot of calls from companies in California that are looking to relocate.
That's really interesting, yeah. Because, again, you have all these new buildings and new communities. These people kind of want to come in here. And also, there's also an executive airport that's really close to Henderson as well, or I guess where you guys are, so people don't have to fly out of McCarran if they don't want to either, right?
That's right. We have Henderson Executive Airport in West Henderson. So it's strategically located. It's easy to get into and easy to get out of. Located right off St. Rose Parkway, close to I-15. And people use that airport quite a lot.
Is it commercial? Exactly. Is it for commercial airlines or for private jets and planes and that?
It's private.
Yeah.
Well, but that's, can always be expanded, right, in the future.
Well, yeah. But if you have a business and you want to relocate it into Nevada, into Henderson, get a lot of tax benefits, et cetera, it kind of makes sense. These people coming from all over the country to do this. You're coming into a city that is growing. It's already proven to be one of the best places out there. And with all the redevelopment and all the opportunity, you almost got to be crazy to say, oh, I'm going to stay in California where I'm taxed to death. It just makes sense, I think. Anthony, where else but Henderson? I mean, this is a great opportunity for a lot of people to move here.
Well, that's what I say. Where else but Henderson?
There you go.
Yeah,
Anthony, are some of these areas that are in your redevelopment zone, are any of those opportunity designated zones?
They are. So Henderson has 4 opportunity zones. And the 4 opportunity zones are also all in redevelopment areas, primarily in the downtown redevelopment area.
So do you have projects that are developing there in the opportunity zones?
So we do have some projects that are under construction right now on Water Street that are using opportunity zone funds for the construction. And we have the one that I mentioned immediately across from Lifeguard Arena. That project is being funded by Opportunity Zone funds. And I believe that Lifeguard Arena itself used qualified opportunity funds for a portion of that construction as well.
Oh, so you just have everything, Anthony, a little bit of this and this, and so whatever business that wants to come in and develop, they have a gamut of opportunities. And I'm sure that in the opportunity zone area, the city has incentives as well to bring development in on top of the opportunity zone.
So in redevelopment areas, we do have tools that will assist businesses that are looking to relocate or businesses to expand. We have existing programs like our facade improvement and our tenant improvement programs, but then we also have the ability to negotiate custom grant programs depending on the type of use and the need that may exist.
Oh, very good. So how does the redevelopment agency interact with the economic development agency in Henderson? Do you work together, or are you a little bit separate?
We work very closely together. We're actually, we sit in a shared space together, and we work collaboratively together on many projects.
Oh, okay. Very good. So, Anthony, if you could look into the future and think about what kind of a business or what kind of a project that you would love to see come into Henderson, so the people who are listening who maybe are kind of their interest is tweaked here in developing in Henderson, what would you love to see come into Henderson that's not there yet?
Well, I think that just like every community in Southern Nevada, we're looking for economic diversification. We're looking for technology-type businesses, manufacturing. Haas is a great company that is relocating to Henderson. They're going in West Henderson. The redevelopment agency is primarily located on the east side of town. In our more mature neighborhoods, West Henderson is all newer neighborhoods in Henderson. But really, it's what makes sense for the market to support. So the redevelopment agency supports the efforts of any business owner that can fill a need in the market and that can be supported by the market. But we would love to see more corporate headquarters, technology businesses, skilled manufacturing that comes here and helps to diversify our economy.
Well, and which provides a lot of jobs. Isn't Google opening a facility there as well?
They are. So that is just on Warm Springs Road, right off Boulder Highway, pretty close to downtown.
And is that in an opportunity zone?
It is not in an opportunity zone. It's just outside of an opportunity zone.
So even if Google is outside of the opportunity zone, then someone can come in with multifamily residential and locate in the opportunity zone to provide the employees to work in the Google facility or any other industrial manufacturing business that's developing in the area.
They could.
Yeah. Or they can buy houses in Cadence, which is right around the corner.
That's true, too.
Yes. Cadence is very close to where the Google facility is located.
Excellent. Excellent. So anything else in terms of like major commercial projects that we haven't spoken about yet?
So in our redevelopment areas, I mean, I think that we've touched base on the bigger ones. There's a big redevelopment or in addition to the Bank of America, the same person who redeveloped that site also purchased the Townhouse Motor Lodge, which has been vacant on Water Street for a good 15 or more years. That reconstruction project is getting close to being finished, and the person redeveloping that has created some micro-tenant retail spaces and office spaces there, created an urban lounge and restaurant space. So we're excited to see that space be reactivated after so many years of being vacant, and the opportunity that it will create to have more businesses come to Henderson. And that owner also has future plans to construct a new 5-story building also on Water Street that will be mixed use.
Got it. Are you guys still doing your monthly rallies over at my favorite, over the Gold Mine Tavern? You guys still doing those things?
So it's a quarterly rally. We've had to go to it being virtual due to COVID-19, but we are continuing to have them.
Good.
Oh, very good.
Excellent.
What about
and we are
medical?
excited.
I'm sorry. I was just going to say, what about medical and healthcare facilities? Aside from St. Rose that you have out in Henderson, are there any development projects that are bringing in medical buildings, healthcare to the community?
Well, we have Henderson Hospital, which is a great anchor tenant at the Union Village Master Plan community off Galleria Drive and the 95, 515, and they have completed one medical office building, and they are well underway on the construction of a second medical office tower. So that is going to be another great addition to Henderson and the medical services that we have here.
Very good.
You can never get enough. Yeah, you can never get enough with medical and medical office space. That's one of the few commercial sectors that really hasn't been hit too hard by the COVID. So there's always a need for that.
Correct. And the second location for Henderson or Valley Health Services is planned for West Henderson as well.
Oh, that's good.
So we're excited that we're seeing a growth in that industry as well. And then we have some 5- and 6-plex units that are close to being completed in downtown Henderson that are on some vacant parcels that were here as infill development, and a 31-unit multifamily building is going to break ground in the next few months, also in downtown.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, like I said at the beginning of this podcast, it's great to see all these projects that are actually happening. And, you see a lot of people talk about great ideas that they have, and, a lot of them don't ever come to fruition. What you guys are doing is you're actually making it happen. And I think if you're an investor in these projects, if you want to, move to the area, you want to work in Henderson, live in Henderson, play in Henderson, et cetera, you've already proven the concept that Henderson works and it continues to grow. So it's a real thing. It's a proven concept, and it's working. So I think that's a really good testament to what you guys are doing.
I appreciate that, Ron.
Yeah. If somebody is listening to this podcast and wants to get more information, actually, before I tell you that, Anthony, we did a website, HendersonRedevelopment.com, where we're highlighting a lot of these projects as well. So I don't know if you got a chance to look at that, but everyone should go to HendersonRedevelopment.com and find out what we've got going on for that. But in terms of what you're doing, how do people get a hold of you? What's a good website to go to for the Henderson information?
Well, I would definitely recommend that they go to the cityofhenderson.com website and then just look under departments for redevelopment, and the information is right there. Yes.
The only caveat to that is when you get on City of Henderson website, there's so much information on that site that you can end up spending hours just looking at everything that's going on, and you get on a tangent. And it's amazing. The informational aspect of that site is great. You could just so you're not going to go there for 10 minutes and leave. That's for sure.
It's true. And right now, I will let you know that we do have another website called waterstreetdistrict.com. It is a little stale and old, but we are actively working on a massive update to that website that's going to make it a lot more appealing, a lot more user-friendly, and a lot more information is going to be on that in the next few months.
Great. I say we all do a collaborative effort on that. We all meet at Public Works and drink coffee and develop websites.
There you go. Well, and drink
Vicki,
beer, too.
Yes, that too. So, Vicki, what do you think about this? It's all interesting stuff, huh?
Oh, it is. Henderson is becoming a destination location, and that's through a lot of the effort of Anthony and his team making it happen. Because, like you said, Ron, there's a lot of communities, and they get an idea, and somebody comes up with a thought, and then they spend 3 or 4 or 5 years discussing the idea, and they never do anything. Where Anthony and Henderson, they had the idea, they said it works, they made it happen, and it's created just a huge expansion for Henderson. It's becoming a major location to come to, and that, I think, has a lot to do with you, Anthony.
Well, I appreciate that, Vicki. Also, I would be remiss if I didn't comment on our amazing mayor, Mayor March, and all of our city council members who are also our redevelopment agency board members. They are true visionaries who support the efforts of redevelopment 110%. They are so supportive of all of these actions, as is our city manager and the entire executive team. They do an amazing job in helping these efforts go forward.
Yeah, what a concept, Anthony. Politicians who stop talking and actually start acting.
Well, in Henderson, I can tell you that they act every single day to make this work happen.
And like I said, I live on the other side of the city, and it makes me want to go to Henderson just because of the exciting things that are happening there.
Well, maybe one day you'll make the move down to Henderson.
Well, there's always that possibility.
There is.
Go, I'm telling you. Yep. Well, all the work shows, the results speak for themselves. And everyone out there listening, you got to contact Anthony or go to the website that we just mentioned for more information on what's going on there. You'll be amazed. Leave where you're at. Relocate to Henderson. Residential.
And they're always welcome to call me. Always welcome to call me, 702-267-1511.
Excellent. Make sure you call Anthony for sure. All right, Vicki, thanks for co-hosting this podcast with me. Anthony, thanks so much for taking the time out to talk to our audience. We really appreciate you having you on. We always love it. And hopefully we'll get you back on again as all these news progresses and all these things get better and better and better. So, folks out there, you're listening to the Mappable USA podcast at MappableUSA.com. Go to that website, scroll down on the homepage. You'll see all our syndication sources. Pick the one you like best so you'll never miss another one of our episodes. If you want to be a guest on the show, like Anthony was today, there's a guest tab there. Just fill that out. We'll see what you can do about getting you on the show. And if you like what you heard today, send us an email, info@MappableUSA.com, or just comment on the page you're listening to this right now. So thanks for listening. Thanks for your support. We'll be back at you next week with another Mappable USA podcast. Have a great week, everyone.